Okay, Ash, like, you know those thoughts that get in your mind and you just like can't stop thinking about it because you can't understand? Okay. I found a fact that blew my mind.
Okay.
Firefighters use a wetting agent to make water wetter. I don't even.
You really hit those T's there.
Wetter.
Wetter.
How do you make water wetter?
More wet.
How?
I have no idea.
Bro, when I tell you how much time I've spent thinking about this.
Is it some kind of like chemical that goes in?
An agent.
Some kind
It's
of
an
something.
agent.
It's
like, I'll never be the same. And that's it. That's all I got.
Fun facts with Taryn, guys. It's never a dull moment in Taryn's mind.
I feel like it's funny because when I do share something, most of the time people look at me and are just like, wow, that's what it's like.
Wow.
I'm like, you don't even know.
That's how you spend your day?
I only share the thoughts that I'm like, I think people will still want to be my friend if they know this about me. So
got it.
If only.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Unsolicited Advice. I'm Ashley.
I'm Taryn.
And this is the podcast where we advise you guys on what to do if we were in your shoes.
Just what to do. That's it.
What we would do.
What we would do. That's a good way to, like, we're telling you what to do by saying what we would do, but that covers us because we're not technically telling you what to do, right?
We would never technically tell you what to do.
Don't sue us.
We know better than to do that.
We do.
How are you, Taryn?
I'm good. I love episodes when we record when like I haven't seen you all day because I'm genuinely like, hey, Ash.
Oh, like, hey, Taryn.
I missed you.
Taryn, guys, for those of you that don't know, Taryn has like a real job. Aside from the podcasting.
Yes.
Unless we like take off one day and we're famous and she can do this full time.
Make us famous.
We're really going to put that on you guys here. So stop what you're doing. Share this episode to friends, to family, to whoever. So Taryn can quit her job and work here full time. Just kidding.
If my boss is listening, I'm just kidding.
This is fully coming from my selfish side.
Wow.
Just over here really hoping that happens.
Thriving. You're so... good time. If you're watching on our YouTube, we're not in Ashley's bed.
No. Well, we took a poll on Instagram and I was like, hey guys, would love to know if you guys are, really vibing with my bedroom situation.
Yeah.
Which even though, it's been there for a while, it got us through 2020, which we're very appreciative of. Mm-hmm. It's not the most comfortable like to film. And to sit on my bed like that for a long period of time, I'm just going to say it. I'm in my 30s now. My back hurts.
It's like, you know what it is? You're sitting cross-legged, but you have nothing to lean on. And like the mattress, like your booty's sitting down.
It sinks down.
So my hips, bro.
The only thing you can do is like sit in like a C shape and it hurts after a long period of time.
Literally in between each of our stories, I'd be like, I literally am like in pain.
And then every time I have to like get up to like adjust the camera or, adjust sound or whatever, I have to like crawl out from under my lap desk, put my legs on the floor, which like by that time they're usually asleep. Because I've been like Smeagol. What'd you say? Like Smeagol. I definitely do not look like Smeagol. Actually, I think I kind of do look like Smeagol crawling down from my bed. I'm dead.
Oh, shoot. Someone make a meme.
Someone make a meme of Smeagol with my face on his face.
Put Smeagol on Ashley's bed
while we're recording.
Over Ashley recording.
That's even better. So we're giving this a little go and would love to know your guys' thoughts on it. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, check out our YouTube channel and let us know if you prefer the couch or the bedroom. I'm letting you know. I'm really feeling this sitting upright couch situation.
Backs and hips.
For our sanity.
Vote for us. Don't vote for yourself. Don't be selfish, okay?
Don't do this. Don't do this for you. This is for us.
I'm trying to play with my grandkids someday. Not walk like a Disney witch.
Sorry, honey. Can't pick you up.
Yeah.
Hurt my back podcasting. It's a rough job.
Good times.
Okay. Anyways.
Ash.
Yes.
Do you have a Tearing It Up?
I do have a Tearing It Up. It's really good. I'm very excited for it. Are you looking at my computer?
Wow. Oh my God. I felt like I
caught her.
Caught. Did you ever get caught cheating on a test?
Yeah.
The way she said, yeah. Of course.
I've said it on this podcast before and I'll say it again. I don't think people believe me because of my general nice and naive appearing personality.
It's because you are very put together.
Yeah, I think
outwardly and inwardly.
People look at me. Yeah. I have a very strong perfectionist side to me, and I think people look at that and think straight A's.
I would have thought
good
that.
GPA, scholarship to school.
Yeah,
I was the worst student. I cheated on so many things. I don't know how I graduated, but we're here.
We're here. So, C's get degrees. Just kidding.
Don't. No. Okay. Anyways, back to Tearing It Up. For those of you guys that don't know, Tearing It Up is our funny segment where you guys specifically send in funny stories, and we just get a good laugh at you guys.
Yes, we do.
This one is titled Tearing It Up, Raccoon Eyes on a First Date.
Uh-oh.
What does that mean?
I'm
sure you're asking. Let me tell you. Here we go. Hey, Taryn and Ash. First off, I just want to say how much I love you. You girls have gotten me through plenty of bad days, and I feel like I'm hanging out with my best friends when I'm listening to your podcast. Love it. I feel like every time me and Taryn just like kind of cry when we hear this stuff.
But it's like it's so genuine.
It is. That's why it makes me cry.
And like when you're doing something you love and people genuinely love it too, it's a feeling like
something happens.
Yeah, like we're proud of it. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Yes. Anyways, on with the story. She says, now for my really embarrassing story. I had been dating someone for about 7 months, and he ended things over text the night before Valentine's Day.
Oh.
Douchebag alert.
Wow.
I don't like him. Hate him.
Wow.
Hate him.
Oh, wow.
She writes, I was crushed and embarrassed, but wasted no time getting back out there because there's no point in crying over a guy like that, right? At a girl.
I feel that.
Girl. I got right on Bumble and quickly matched with a really nice guy. We talked for about 5 days before going on our first date. The night of the date, I put all the extra work into getting ready and looking my absolute best. I even used the Pretty Basic palette for the first time.
Ooh,
we love the Pretty Basic palette.
It.
I was feeling pretty damn confident about the whole thing. About 30 minutes before I had to leave my house, I decided I better put some eye drops in because they've been really dry lately. Me. I think I put in eye drops every single day. My allergies are horrible, and I can't when my eyes start bothering me.
I can't do eye drops though.
Taryn is a 6-year-old who can't put in eye drops still.
Literally, Rachel Green. I have a video and we can like post it, but I have a video of my roommates literally holding me down, putting eye drops in, and I was like freaking out. And this was like 3 years ago.
2.
Whoever's gonna marry me is so lucky though.
The amount of work that they're gonna have to do is unreal. Continuing on with the story, I go get the eye drops out of my purse and quickly realized I had done something very wrong. My eyes were all of a sudden burning and I couldn't see well. Turns out I accidentally used my dog's eye drops.
Shut up.
Yes. I don't know if you've had to put eye drops in dogs before. They come in very similar looking bottles. Like they look just like regular eye drops, except the prescription probably says, for Chloe, for Rosie.
See, now all I'm going to think about is what about dogs' eyes are different than our eyes?
Well, it could be like, I'm assuming it was a prescription for a certain thing. Like an eye infection. Where
she was just trying to chill her eyes.
Yeah, she was just wanting some kind of like eye lubricant. This was a prescription.
Yeah.
Anyways, I quickly texted my date and told him I was going to be a few minutes late. Then I rinsed the hell out of my contacts and fixed my makeup and I was good to go. ... Or so I thought. Apparently, all of the rinsing and eye drops must have made my mascara undryable because when I got home 4 hours later, I had full on raccoon eyes.
And she didn't know?
I don't mean like subtle, oh, that's cute, she's adorably imperfect. I'm talking like the entire inch of skin under my eyes was completely black.
What? He didn't say anything?
He said nothing about it and sat across me for 4 hours looking at that mess.
Oh, that's so...
As soon as I got home and looked in the mirror, I wanted to die. She puts in all caps. I texted him and apologized and said, how dare you not say something?
Yeah. Starting off strong.
Yeah, he was too much of a gentleman, apparently. I'm not sure why, but he wants to go out again. The pressure is on now. Wish me luck. XO, Brittany.
But is the pressure on? because I feel like after that, like anything you do, like you've already done something embarrassing. Yeah. So now it's like,
I feel like pressure's off because it's like, I would feel way more comfortable. I would sit him down though and be like, listen, I understand first dates are a little awkward and you don't want to like make someone feel uncomfortable. But from now on, if you ever see anything on my face that's out of sorts, like you better tell me.
Even like a speck in your tooth is one thing, but to be like, hey, are you okay? But like you have black dripping from your eyes.
I will say, like, from his perspective, they met on a dating app. This is their first time meeting in person. Like, I bet like she walked out with dark eyes, like not as dark as they were by the end, but I bet like they were kind of dark.
Like he was almost like, is this
and
your
he was
vibe?
Like, is this how you do your makeup? You know? So, poor guy.
That's hilarious.
First dates are hilarious. And I can't imagine if that happened to me, I'd be mortified.
You would have a hard time recovering.
I would have a hard time recovering. Taryn would have to help me write my "Did you know and why didn't you tell me" text.
Yeah. I would literally
more embarrassed.
I would literally just send a selfie and be like, seriously?
Are you kidding me?
Seriously?
Did you see this?
Seriously.
Anyways, thank you, Brittany, for sharing. I know I have some crazy first date stories and I'm sure everyone else can relate to that too. There's been one time, I forget where I was. I think I went with my youth group from church to Six Flags, and they had like a water ride. And there was a boy that I liked, and I remember like doing my makeup and feeling super cute. But I was at that age where I like didn't carry a compact with me. I didn't have a mirror. I didn't bring like, you know, if you wear makeup, you typically have to bring that makeup with you to like touch up throughout the day. I was way too young for that. By the end of the whole day, I had raccoon eyes, and I remember being like, why did I even put on the makeup in the first place?
Good times.
Makeup.
So literally, Ash, in 30 minutes, you could do something that would have you never worry about break-ins at your home ever again.
Oh, really? What is that, Taryn?
It's a small sacrifice, Ash.
Okay.
It's worth it, Ash.
Tell me, Taryn.
That's how quick and easy it is, y'all, to set up a security system from Simply Safe.
Hello.
So what are you doing? Do you want to die?
Bet you don't.
Bet you don't. I don't, dude. I do not want to get murdered. I don't.
Guys, one of the reasons Taryn and I get along so well is because we can't sleep at night unless the alarm's on. We literally cannot sleep unless the alarm is on, and we do a verbal call out saying that we have set the alarm.
Setting the alarm.
Normally stuff like this goes over my head. Honestly, I have trouble putting a desk together, but Taryn and I were able to put together our Simply Safe so quick and easy. We did not have to call for help. I didn't have to call my dad and ask how to do anything. And I was very proud of us for being able to do it on our own. You can easily choose the exact sensors you need or get help from one of their experts. Once you order Simply Safe, it'll get to your house in about a week, which means by this time next week, you and your whole family can be going to bed knowing that your home is completely guarded.
As always, we have all the steps you need to take. Go to simplysafe.com/advice today to customize your system and get a free security camera. You also get a 60-day risk-free trial, so there's literally nothing to lose. That's simplysafe.com/advice. So I think that like socials have gotten so much easier because there are these amazing things now that help you look so artsy and like a pro graphic designer, and all you literally have to do is like pick something and put a picture in it.
Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've like faked it till I make it and used like a template.
Right?
And it got me through so many things.
Oh my God. And I'm not joking, like no cap, total truth. One of the main ones that you brought me into was Canva.
Like back in the day too.
Back in the day. And so when I saw this ad, I was like, this is so appropriate. Like so appropriate.
If you guys look on our Instagram, like when we first started, you might notice some templates that are are easily found on Canva.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. Exposed. And I was like, let me find a template. And they literally made everything that we posted look so professional. Canva Pro, you guys, is the easy to use design platform that has everything you need to design like a pro. Whether you're a professional designer or just getting started, Canva Pro can help boost you and your team's productivity and creativity. It's a quick, easy, and affordable way to design whatever you need. No matter what you're creating and sharing, Canva Pro has everything you need in one place, including a collection of over, get this guys, 75 million premium photos, videos, audio, and graphics. I have made so many cute little graphics for our Instagram, for our Facebook page, for my Instagram, for my Facebook page, using their templates, using their photos. They have a ton of stock photos that you can literally use for anything you're trying to make. They have great graphics that you can use as well. One of my absolute favorite Canva Pro features is their templates for Instagram stories.
Yeah, because it's different sizes.
Off on Instagram stories. First of all, you can get templates for YouTube. You can get templates for Facebook, for Instagram, for a static post, for a story. Literally anything you're trying to make, they have a template for. But one of my favorites is stories because I love being creative on my stories, especially when I'm trying to like send a message or I'm working with a brand or I'm trying to convey like our message on our podcast through our stories. Their story templates are to die for, and they're so much fun. And they actually, I think, allow you to be more creative with what you're trying to make as well.
Fully. So if you guys would like to design like a pro with Canva Pro, right now you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you use our code. Just go to canva.me/advice to get your free 45-day extended trial. That's Canva, canva.me/advice. Canva.me/advice. Good times. Well, let's go ahead and jump into stories. I'll start.
Yeah, sure.
Give you a sec.
Yeah.
I think this one is very relevant to everyone. And I'm actually really excited to talk about it. It's about the subject matter of anxiety. A specific kind, but I feel like just in general, it's always good to talk about anxiety.
1,000%.
And it's something that like, I feel confident talking about it because I've dealt with it, but I've also studied it. And I also am like weirdly into like finding like cool things to do to help and stuff. Yeah. And I know you do too.
Yes.
So I'm super excited for this. Not excited that you're going through this.
No. But also relatable. I feel like a lot of people are dealing with different forms of anxiety, especially nowadays. Thank you, 2020.
Yeah, 2020 and COVID. Can suck it. Okay. This is titled Health Anxiety Sucks. Hey ladies, my name is Megan. And if you choose this, feel free to say my name. Well,
Megan.
Cool, I did. I decided to take the plunge and drop an email for advice.
Yeah, you did.
Firstly, I have started listening to your podcast on my way to work on Monday morning to set me up for the day. And I've been loving it.
I love that.
Honestly, I feel like that's the biggest compliment we get is that we make your Mondays good because Mondays are the worst.
Mondays
so
suck.
Like honored. Okay. I feel like I need some advice on how to deal with my health, anxiety, and stress. I'm in counseling for this, but I haven't started yet due to a very long waiting list. This was started in January. January, February. That's 2 months.
Wow.
That sucks. I wonder where she's from. I have only suffered with health anxiety for the past year since my boyfriend's dad passed away on March 2nd last year at a decently young age. He was only 49.
Wow.
And then my own dad was hospitalized with COVID the end of March and nearly died. Since then, I have been stressing over the smallest things possible about my own health and have spoken to a ridiculous amount of doctors about things that were not cause for concern at all due to my actual anxiety. I have gotten a lot better using my own techniques. However, I feel like I need some more ideas. I currently help myself by listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, currently watching New Girl on Netflix.
Love
Solid.
New Girl.
Solid. Journaling and using my positive planner. I also suffer with OCD and have had counseling for this, but when my health anxiety starts, then it sets me off doing the same thing so many times I start to sweat. I hope you have some advice on what you might do if you were me. However, I understand if not. It felt good either way, writing this out and opening up to other people other than my own family. If you do read this, thank you so much for reading. Love you both. Stay safe and well. Love, Megan.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this is such an appropriate topic. Yeah. And I just want to say, first of all, I mean, with everyone that writes in, like, it's so brave, you know what I mean? To be vulnerable in the stuff that a lot of you are writing in, which again, wasn't even like the original intent of our podcast, but what it's turned into are all areas that are very like raw and vulnerable. So even just writing it in is like super brave. So thank you so much for sharing this. And anxiety is a big thing.
It's a huge thing.
It's freaking huge. And I
feel like it's a movement.
you know what it is I feel like people are finally taking it serious.
Yes.
Because even like, do you remember being younger and people would talk about like anxiety attacks? And I would always be like, okay, like it's fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But have you struggled with anxiety?
I think everyone can get anxious. And I think that I know what anxious feels like. I think I've barely dipped my toe into what anxiety feels like. But I have a sister, a mother, and a really close friend of mine who are deeply affected by their anxious emotions. And I remember having a hard time when I was younger trying to understand what was bothering my mom and why I couldn't do certain things and why she would have really deep fears about the most random things. And in my head, I had a hard time. I didn't understand it. I didn't process it. I didn't see any logic behind it. So it was hard for me to understand her feelings. And I struggled with it where me and her would butt heads a lot. And it wasn't until much later, and I met other people that were dealing with it. My sister started dealing with it, that I realized how I had no idea how crippling it can actually be. And that's coming from someone who hasn't really dealt with it, because I've known way too many people who have actually dealt with it. I get anxious before things that I'm uncomfortable with. I think I do get anxiety. One of my favorite things to do on the planet is drumming. And if I ever play in front of people, I do get anxious right before. And I do have anxiety on big projects where I feel like I'm not worthy, or I feel like I am not well prepared. I used to get real test anxiety. And the only thing I can say is, like, I feel like everyone dealing with it has different techniques for dealing with it. And this is very much like finding the right therapist for you. Everyone's different, and you have to find something that works for you, that helps you kind of like center and ground yourself and calm down.
I think the thing about understanding anxiety is you can't, like, unless you're that person, unless you're going through it, it doesn't matter. And that's what's hard, is I think a lot of people are like, well, what's wrong? Like, that's your first question.
That's number one, usually what I ask. Like, I'm like, well, what happened?
Do you remember when I had like really bad anxiety after one of my trips to Africa? It was years ago, but you kept saying, you were like, well, like, but what's wrong? And I was like, I don't know. And like that, for me, I'm so emotionally in tune with like what I'm feeling. And that was my first time experiencing like anxiety that's outside of just being anxious, you know? And I had a few anxiety attacks, and that's the hardest part, is like, sometimes you don't know, or you'll be like, well, I started thinking about this, which is so tiny, and it triggered something. So it's hard to tell people like, well, my dishwasher wasn't working, when it's like, it's not that, it's like so much more, you know?
Well, it's also the unknowing part of it is I think what's scary for most of the people in my life that struggle with it. It's not necessarily even the feeling. It's not knowing where the feeling's coming from. It's not being able to pinpoint what is like starting this.
Oh, for sure.
That is scary. And again, I'm just going off of what I've been told. But I couldn't imagine having this insurmountable amount of fear and not knowing why.
Yeah. And I think my first anxiety attack I was driving, totally chill, listening to music. And just like that, I was like, I couldn't breathe. I felt like I had to take all my clothes off because I was suffocating. And I was just crying uncontrollably. And I had no idea like where it came from. And I think that's what's so hard is like, I'm sure like Megan who wrote in, her anxiety looks totally different. Like that's what's so hard. You can't pinpoint. But I just want to say like, I feel like it's hard. And in this specific case, because you have real things that have happened in your life that it makes sense why those things make you nervous. So it's kind of trying to find that balance of acknowledging. I don't think fear is a bad thing. And it's not something that we should try to like fully run away from. I mean, we talk about all the time, like every emotion is healthy, like every emotion is valid. So I think sometimes when we're okay with being like, yeah, like this scares the crap out of me. And like, that's okay. Like I should be scared of stuff. Like we're built with fear to protect us from certain things, but it's when it becomes like so restricting of your life that you can't live that we need to seek help, which you have. And I think that's awesome. I think one of the coolest things about anxiety is it's kind of like, it's like a thought that enters and like a whirlpool starts and you get stuck in it. So the things that I always that I've read a lot about and I try to do is you have to like physically get your brain onto something else. And the best and easiest way to do that is one of your senses. So obviously like breathing is a huge thing. You know, deep breaths, learning different breathing techniques. Me and Ash went to a breathing. Wow. What was that? I think it was called like a breathing circle one time, but we were taught a specific way to breathe. And we both, it was like, we were messes after because it taps into something when you're I
was a wreck. I am the queen of what emotion? Yeah. I'm not crying. You can't see me cry. People don't see me cry for a reason. I won't let them.
Yeah.
I was a wreck and bawling and it was weird.
Yeah.
I was uncomfortable. I was dealing with a lot of emotions that I didn't know I had.
Yeah.
And it was all because of a breathing pattern that I was doing for a long period of time.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
Bizarre.
For sure.
But one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had.
Yeah. There's another technique called grounding, which is like basically like you close your eyes and you try to focus on your surroundings, because what you're usually having anxiety about is something that's like outside of your control. So like, for instance, if I were to be doing it right now, I would start with like, you know, do I smell anything? What do I think that smell is? Like, what am I hearing? Like, oh, I think that's this. I feel the couch that I'm sitting on. Like I move my toes, I move my hands, like kind of bringing you back into the present moment you're in instead of what you're circling over. Another thing is like, I've heard stuff that like you can do like mints, like strong mints or strong gum, something to like really trigger your taste sense to like hopefully stop your brain on whatever loop it's in. There are so many like cool things even that you can get on Amazon, and I'll try to like link a couple of them too. I'm actually like, I'm trying to do a video about this, like all the things you can get from Amazon.
Oh, nice.
And I'm pumped about it, but there's, you know, like sensory rings, there's, weighted things you can put, there's scents you can use, but basically trying to physically find something that can help you get your mind off of what you're stuck on.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that makes so much sense.
Which sounds so simple. And I think that's why people don't do it.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
I think I think people diminish it as being like not a real thing.
Yeah. Like if someone tells you like, just take deep breaths, you're like, well, freak you.
Sure.
Like I can't breathe. Like that's the problem, you know?
No. Yeah. My mom, when she was younger, she had a really bad car accident happen that totaled her car. And I think she said, for like 2 years, she wasn't able to drive, which sounds incredible. Like how is that possible? But she said every time she got behind the wheel, she would freeze and she would have a panic attack and anxiety would like take over and she couldn't drive. When I asked her like how she ended up fixing it, she was like, it never really fully went away. She just started like not fearing it as much and almost accepting it and being like, this isn't something that I can just turn off.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to, and this is putting it very lightly, but roll with it and just kind of be like, okay, we've been here before. We've done this before. We've come out on the other end. Mm-hmm. We're here again. We're going to do exactly what we did last time and just kind of calm ourselves down, and eventually it'll pass, you know? And I think, and this goes with like a lot of things in life. I think the second you learn how to take away that fear of being afraid, all of a sudden it becomes less scary.
Totally.
Again, I don't think anyone would fully understand what I'm saying unless they've dealt with anxiety before. But I remember my mom explaining that to me after I got in a car accident once, and I was like,
you're right.
Cool. Yeah. You're right. Mm-hmm. Like I understand that.
I think too, like specifically find something for you. Like we, Ashley's sister, my roommate, our friend, Alicia, I asked her because she's struggled with the health aspect of having anxiety. So like she'll always come in my room and be like, am I dying? And like, she'll explain like what's going on, and I'll like walk through her different things, but
she'll have a red spot on her arm and be like, what is this? I'm going to die.
But for her, what I love is she's gotten so smart on like, what are things that are helpful and harmful? One of the things that she stopped doing was Googling. So she'll text me and ask me to Google, because what I'm going to see is going to be different than what she's seeing because she's in that heightened state. Mm-hmm. Another thing, when we were preparing for this episode, I was like, hey, what's your number one tip? And she's found, which I thought was so interesting, if she's like, oh my God, my throat's closing, I can't breathe, which is one of her common ones. She's always like, I feel like my throat is closing. She starts singing, which I was like, I would have never thought of that. But to her, she's like, oh, like it helps me if I'm singing, I'm getting in and out air and it distracts me. And I know it's that also, like, I'm okay.
It's also like very long, drawn out amounts of air versus shallow breathing.
Yeah. So and that's like so specific to her. So I think you've just got to like, I think if we start to look at stuff as a problem to solve, then it becomes easier, because I'm like, I know that's stupid that like when I pinch this certain spot on my hand, it helps me feel better. And there's probably no scientific reason, but if that's what helps me, then that's my new routine, you know?
Yeah.
So anyways, but I hope this has helped. I hope that, you know, I know that so many people listening are like,
I know. I've been struggling away a few things.
Yeah.
I forgot about the singing thing.
Yeah.
This is super helpful for, I think, most people that are living in life right now, because we're still in a world pandemic.
Yeah. Oh my God. We are. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I love stuff that I'm like, I know. I mean, every story I know is going to like reach so many people.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is such a key. Like, I love knowing so many people are like,
it's such a relevant topic right now. And even if those tips don't work for you, or you've tried them before and they didn't help before, just hearing that someone else is dealing with these same stresses and anxieties as you are, is just so relieving.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you take a deep breath and you're like, thank God I'm not alone. Yeah. And I know, like, we all know that other people are stressing about this stuff too, but being able to like hear someone who's actually dealing with it and like explaining it is just so
refreshing.
I feel that too. I'm glad I'm not alone. And we all need to remind ourselves that.
Can I say one more thing?
No, it's my turn. I'm just kidding.
So sorry. I also heard this the other day, because I think I have a lot more underlying anxiety than I know of, because I am so mentally like, oh, I'm good. And like figuring out, why do I feel like this, whatever. Mm-hmm. But someone asked me the other day, because of my Lego obsession, they were like, do you struggle with anxiety? And I was like, not really. And they were telling me that they've found that people who struggle with anxiety find a lot of comfort in stuff that the outcome is presented beforehand. So binge watching shows is one thing that a lot of people with anxiety will keep doing.
You're mentally prepared.
Because there's know how there's no shock. It's something you feel comforted in. Doing like a Lego set where it's like, you know what it's going to look like at the end, doing a puzzle, things like that. So that's another just like tangible suggestion.
Interesting.
But yeah. And I'm always trying to like push people to like Lego. So
at Lego. Okay.
Sponsor me.
It's gonna happen
someday.
It's still gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. And
it's on her manifestation list.
The world will know.
You guys will know first.
I'll cry for like an hour and then I'll just run around. Be like, hi, my name's Taryn, and Legos is sponsoring. So one thing everyone knows about me, I always have my nails done. I love Legos. I'm obsessed with jewelry. It's one of my staples.
It really is.
It's one of your staples.
It's 1,000% one of my staples.
1/60th of the reason we're best friends. 60th. And I'm not gonna lie, like me and Ash, there's certain ads that come through that we just like geek out a little bit. And this was definitely one of them because they sent us jewelry.
They did.
And I'm telling you right now, my stack chain necklace I got is like one of my faves. And I will be wearing it all the time. So thanks so much to Ana Luisa for partnering with us on this episode.
Guys, Ana Luisa offsets 100% of their carbon emissions, starting with the sourcing of their raw materials all the way to the disposal of their pieces. They have limited batches ensuring the highest production standards while eliminating excessive waste. And my favorite part, they offer a 365-day warranty to replace or refund any piece that doesn't meet your expectations. That, guys, is confidence in a product. That is 100%. They know that you will love their product. I personally, when I went on, I was so excited. One, they were like, here, pick something. I was like, are you kidding?
Okay.
I ended up going with this really cute little gold hoop that had a little dangly pearl on each piece. And I think they're so cute and adorable and perfect for like a hair up moment.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, girl.
And I personally love that their jewelry starts at like $39.
Oh my gosh, that's like nothing for like
no
good jewelry.
Luxury markup. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
We love it. I know you guys are all asking right now, where do we go to get a hold of this jewelry? You can go to analuisa.com/advice. Treat yourself, treat your loved ones, buy a unique gift. And also we have a code, which is advice, to get 10% off. We totally recommend them and are pumped to be working with this brand that makes such beautiful, sustainable jewelry. Again, go to analuisa.com/advice.
Anyways, moving on from Taryn's story onto my story. This one is going to be anonymous. She writes, or actually, here's the title. I'm going to title tease you. This one is, how do I say goodbye to all I've ever known?
Ooh, that's deep.
Hey ladies, you two are absolutely incredible. Hands down, my favorite podcast. Aww. Stop it. I look forward to Monday mornings because of you girls. It truly feels like I'm hanging out with you. I also can't emphasize enough how much I love how you speak out about mental health and how much feelings are valid.
Ash, why are we
Do we high five right now?
Yes.
Hell yeah, we do.
Did we just become best
friends? She writes, you have helped me in so many ways, and I don't think I'll ever be able to thank you enough for that. Anonymous?
You know,
you just did. Cry.
You just did.
Here we go. She says, if you could keep me anonymous, that would be great. I am an Enneagram 6 and I'm 24 years old. For those of you that don't know, Enneagram is Taryn, mine and Taryn's? Taryn and mine? Taryn and I's favorite tool to use in our friendship, in our families, in getting to know you guys better. The number 6 is the loyalist, and they actually, it's kind of convenient, struggle with fear being their biggest thing that holds them back. They are the type to think about the worst outcome in every possible situation so that they're prepared. They too would love Legos, and they too would probably binge watch things because it makes them feel safe. But they are like fiercely loyal and will die for you. Anyway, she writes, I'm currently in a 2-year relationship with my boyfriend. He is the best person for me. He's an Enneagram 9, which, hello, that's my number 2. We're pretty cool. And his strengths are my weaknesses and vice versa. Love that for you guys. We're ready to take it to the next step and move into an apartment together. We have been talking about this for a while now. We've been looking and finally found the right one. We just got approved today and are set to move in the first week of May. Hello. Oh, congratulations. That's a big deal. The problem is, ... I am so emotional about it. I've lived in the same house my whole life. I commuted to college, so I never lived far from home for even a small amount of time. I also am an only child, which I feel like adds a whole other layer of emotions. I am super close with my parents, and I feel so lucky to have such great relationships with them. The pros definitely outweigh the cons, and I do want to move out with my boyfriend. I'm as ready as I'm ever going to be. My boyfriend feels guilty for me being so emotional about the situation, but I always assure him that it is what I want to do. Putting it off longer isn't going to make me any less emotional. I guess it's the whole thought of a new chapter in life that is so new. This is the biggest change I've ever gone through, and the Enneagram 6 in me can't help but be so overwhelmed by this. The apartment complex is literally 20 minutes from my house, so I know my parents are right around the corner, but it's almost like, how did I get this old? When did I become an actual adult? I know this is something everyone goes through, but I didn't think I'd be this emotional about it. How do I deal with these emotions? How do I say goodbye to everything I've ever known without being a huge ball of tears? Also, Taryn, since you love dad jokes, here is my dad's own joke that he would always use when I was younger.
Oh, I'm an original?
An OG, an original. Oh, God. She writes, whenever I'd stub my toe, he'd say, should I call a tow truck?
Oh my God. That's so good. That's brilliant. It's so good.
It's so simple.
That's the key.
I love how simple it is.
That's the key.
Like I get that. That's funny.
Yeah. I get that.
She puts, thank you ladies as always.
Oh, thanks.
Love
Anonymous.
the dad joke. Loved the hype. Hyping us up in the beginning.
I mean, of course.
That one's straight to my head. I feel great.
Yeah.
Interesting. I also moved out when I was 24. So I feel like, we're kind of similar. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's so many things I want to talk about, but one, you're 6. It's scary moving out, period.
Yeah.
For anyone.
Yeah.
But I think specifically for 6s, especially if you've never moved out before, the first time you move out is going to be extra scary because you have lived your entire life feeling safe in this one bubble.
Yeah.
And even moving 20 minutes away probably sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped for you. I feel like this is a natural step that everyone has to take in their life, and 20 minutes away sounds ideal for someone like you who is feeling a little bit more emotional about it. I moved out when I was 24. And I moved like a good hour away. Mm-hmm. And I moved out with my sister. So obviously that does make things a little bit easier. But I remember being emotional about it. I wasn't too emotional, but I was sad to say goodbye to my dogs. Yeah. I was sad to say goodbye to my room. And my parents weren't the type to keep my room around for me. It was changed in a heartbeat. So I remember going back home and realizing my room wasn't there and kind of feeling weirdly emotional about it.
For sure.
And I get emotional about things, but not stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was very much ready to move out and I was very much looking forward to it. But I remember being caught off guard by how emotional I was when I moved out.
Yeah.
Were you emotional when you moved out?
Have you met me? I'm the most sentimental,
I didn't know you.
Sappy person.
But you moved out. Well, you had school.
No, you didn't know me the first time I moved out. So, but if this gives just a hint, when we moved out of my childhood home, I was in 8th grade. So old enough to where, come on, Taryn, we left. I laid on the driveway.
Oh my God.
And kissed the ground.
Oh.
Because I was I find I get connected to things so much, and sometimes that transfers even to non-alive things. But I will say when I moved out to go to college, I had a really hard time because I was leaving my mom and my dad and my siblings. And I remember crying really hard and having that weird pull of this is good and I'm going to get to experience independence and freedom. And, but I was so sad, and same, I was only 15 minutes away. And then I ended up moving back in because of a bad breakup, and I lived literally next door to my ex. We lived in dorm rooms next to each other. And then when I moved out again, it was less sad, but I still felt that. So I think that's totally normal. And I think you should fully let yourself mourn, even if you feel stupid, because that's the only way to really take something in so that you can move on and have something else that's great too, Yeah.
And I think it's normal to feel sad. I I do think there is something important to letting yourself like be independent though. So, like something I struggled with when I lived in Orange County for 3 years. And I would say that moving from Orange County to LA was way harder for me than leaving my parents' house.
That's true.
When I left my parents, I was like, bye.
You were definitely like ready to move out versus like you had found like a community in Orange County. Like it was like,
yeah, when I left home, I was 24 and was like, there's nothing here that I want for me. I know what I want. I want to try things. I want to try new things. I want to be different. I want to like, like chase your dream kind of thing. Yeah. And couldn't do that where I was from. So I was like, bye, I got to go. Bye.
Yeah.
Leaving Orange County was harder because I had to like make a brand new group of friends there. And I had to say goodbye to that and start again in LA. So I think there was like a loss.
It was because of me.
Calm down.
That was the main reason.
Was it just you?
It was me. You left me behind and then I followed
and then
you.
She said, wait, I'm moving in with you. Okay. And I think that was really extra sad for me. But one thing that made it 10 times worse, and I'm gonna tell you what I did wrong when I left Orange County. I went back every weekend. And every weekend I would have to drive back from Orange County to LA. And it was like I was moving all over again.
Cause you'd get sad driving back.
I would literally, I would like go, I'd see you, I'd see other friends. I'd go to my church and I'd hang out with groups of friends that I made over those 3 years. And then I'd leave and come back home to where I knew no one.
Yeah.
And it literally felt like I was kind of like having to start all over again each and every time. I definitely don't recommend doing that. So even though, and this is going to be a little different for you because again, I moved another hour away.
Yeah.
20 minutes isn't that far. So it's fine to go visit your parents, but I would let yourself like be with your boyfriend in your apartment for an extended period of time. And it's not until you do that starts feeling like home.
Oh, I 1,000% agree.
You know, if you keep going back to your parents' home, then you'll feel like you have two homes and maybe this new one isn't really home, but you have to let yourself be there and make it feel home, you know?
Yeah. And like find new, cause I still go to my parents' house pretty often because I love seeing them. And right now my brother and sister-in-law and nephew live there. So like, obviously I'm like every chance I get to go over, but I think it's like, once you find like new normals, you know? So it's like
new routine.
Hey, let's have a game night. So I'll come over, we'll have dinner, we'll have games, and then I go home versus me just like going every day that I can't. You know what I mean? It's finding new routines, having your family come over to your place when it's ready.
I was just going to say that.
Like, I'm so sorry, I stole it. No. But yeah, like finding like your independence and investing in that. But at the same time, because it is your family, like it's totally fine if like you still are going over a few times a week, as long as you are finding, like Ash said, like, especially first when you move, like finding your independence, finding joy and making your home your new home.
Yeah.
And then from there, you'll find what works, you know?
Oh my God. One of my favorite things to do when I move, I say when I move, like I move constantly. I've moved twice.
Traveler.
I've moved twice. And I think one of the best things and most fun things to do when you first move is like, go to the grocery store, freaking go walk to the nearest coffee shop, grab some flowers to like bring life to your room, like play music and figure out the vibe of the place. Cause each place is so different. And it's not until like even be there without your boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, like I loved when Alicia would like leave for work and I'd have the place to myself. I would blare music. I'd open all the windows. There was constantly some like funny TV show playing and I would just kind of sit in it and make it feel like home. I'd bake.
Yeah.
I was baking up a storm because it felt homey and I was trying to make this place feel like home.
Yeah.
So there's so many things you can do. I completely agree. Like maybe include your parents and let them know like, hey, this is kind of hard for me. I don't know what's going on, but it feels hard. Would you guys mind coming over every Tuesday for taco nights or something like that to make it feel like this is now part of where I belong?
Oh, fully.
Yeah.
But again, like the first story, like being sad about moving out is not weird.
No,
like,
it's normal.
I cried so many times
Kissing
and would tell
the ground
everyone.
Is excessive.
Okay. Well, you know what? Do not judge me. That was where I was at and I don't regret it. I still drive by that house sometimes. I'm just like, how you doing?
I cried when I got rid of my first car.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
It's the same. Yeah. It's like
I didn't kiss it, but
I laid on mine. I hugged it for a minute. I'm not going to lie. But I think be sad. Tell people you're sad. Nobody's going to think that weird. What? Think that's weird. And if they do, who cares? Like it's you, it's your emotions. Be sad, but you're going to find a new normal and it's still there. Like you can still experience it.
And I'm just going to go ahead and say, I think the joy that's going to come from you living on your own and building this new life apart from your parents is going to far surpass the sadness you feel right now. Yeah, you just got to let yourself dwell on it for a little bit and then cut off those emotions and say, okay, this is good for me. And I got to take a step forward.
I think too, it's almost like you don't even have to cut them off. Like they just kind of fade. And then what's cool, I don't know why I was like holding my pinky.
She's like holding the microphone and looking at me and pointing at me with her pinky. And I'm like, what does that mean?
I don't know. Anyways, I would say, and I think you would agree, I had more fun like going back to my house after, and me and my parents, our relationship got so much just like more fun and like, I don't know, like we became friends, you know?
I'm going to tell you why. The same thing happened to me.
Because I wasn't being told to do the dishes.
No, because this is a natural and normal thing. I was butting heads with my parents when I lived with them. It was time for me to move out. Yeah. Because I was becoming an adult. And
a butthead. No,
I can't be, I can't live under their roof and try to find my independence at the same time. It's really difficult to do. The best thing and most normal thing that happens is for you to move out and start life on your own. And I think the second that happens, yes, your parents will always be your parents, but there's a friendship that blossoms.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And I'm going to say blossoms because it literally just kind of like faded in. And all of a sudden I wanted to call my mom and chat.
Yeah.
Since when? I don't know. But all of a sudden I had a deep desire to call my mom and chat. And to this day, I call her regularly and I'm just like, hey, what's up? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I just want to talk. That would have never happened if I lived with her.
How's your Tuesday?
Exactly. Yeah. This is meant to be. This is a good thing. I'm so stoked for you and your boyfriend. And I'm even stoked for like your parents to see you like take off and go be an independent adult. This is a very exciting time to be alive.
For sure.
I'm pumped for you.
You got this. Have a ceremony to say bye to your house and like, you know what I mean?
Take some
pictures. Kiss the walls. Do what you gotta do. Who cares, man? This life is weird. Like, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do it.
Yep. Oh, where's my dad joke book?
Guys, I just want to say that my back was starting to hurt, so I leaned back. Why? Because I can.
You know what's funny is I feel like even this, like we were more like sitting straight, but I feel like as episodes go, we're going to be like lounging.
I feel like, I know, I was kind of wondering that obviously this is our first, situation with the couch. I feel like eventually, if you're watching YouTube, you'll get this. I won't be facing the camera and I'll just be like this and talking to you with my laptop, just like.
The other day I did in the bed, I like leaned against the pillow that's always sitting like 5 inches from me. And I was like, sweet relief.
Like,
and I was like, why have I never done this?
I know. I don't have a pillow on my side on the bed. I would kill for a pillow on my side of the bed.
I'm very hunchy too. It's always like my head. Anyways,
no, it's always
moving
Taryn's because it's always Taryn's laptop and her bangs.
I'm done. My mushroom head.
Sometimes the glasses show, but 90% of the time it's like you'll in the YouTube video you'll see like the rim of her computer and then her bangs. And
you know what? It's fine. Also, my lap desk is so much taller than yours, so I just set up for failure from the start. We're gonna move on.
Also, guys, Taryn's growing her bangs out. If you have any tips or advice on how to style hair.
You know
your
what
bangs
it is
when they're long and you're growing them out.
I've had bangs 5,000 times.
She really has.
And there's always every couple of point. It's right when they get just barely too long.
And they're resting on your lashes.
And they're so short still though. Like if you move them to the side. But today I caught my reflection and I was like, do I have a mullet? Like I looked straight. Like it was not it. So I'm struggling a little with my confidence, but it's fine.
Because that's why.
Get me a couple weeks and I'm going to be like, hello.
Also, maybe someone has tips. They can DM us and let us, or email us and let us know.
But that's the thing. Like, I should know. I should be the one giving people tips about bangs, and I'm just not thriving today. Also, I didn't style them to go to the side. They were straight, and I got tired of them in my face and pushed them. So they're not styled at all.
We've been talking about our bangs.
Why are we talking about this? I just want to do my dad jokes and move on. Okay, ready?
Everyone liked your bangs.
Thanks. Oh, wait, what?
Everyone liked your bangs. I was just letting you know.
Oh, thanks. Who knows? I might decide to cut them again. We'll see. Ashley always gets mad at me. I'm a very like spur of the moment person where you're not. Like you put a lot of thought into like
absolutely
your steps. So I'll be like, I think I'm going to get bangs. And she'll be like, okay. And then like a week later, I'm like, I got bangs. And then a week later, I'm like, I think I'm going to grow out my bangs. And she gets all like, oh my God. But that's how I work.
I'm so opposite. If I've had bangs a couple times and I had them for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like it was like a period of time.
I feel that. Okay. Anywho, dad joke time. Okay. This one got me. What type of magazines do cows enjoy reading?
Moo.
There's her one word guess.
Moo. The moo.
Catalogs. It's so good. Why? Can I say one more?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I don't know why trees make me so nervous. I guess because they're so shady. It's so good. It's so good.
Guys, one day Taryn is going to find her perfect soulmate. And he's literally, I'm telling you, it's not going to be flowers that he gets her. It's going to be dad jokes where he's just constantly coming with these perfectly.
The world will hate on our love, but we will know it's real. I hate myself. Okay, let's wrap this. Wrap this baby
up. Let's wrap this up. I feel like it's getting weird now.
It's been forever,
guys. If you're still here, you're the best, and we love you guys so much.
Ooh, let's do a hidden Easter egg.
Ooh, a hidden Easter egg. What should make comment on the first post on Monday on Instagram? First of all, if you don't follow us on Instagram, get on it. Follow us on Instagram. It's bin time.
Oh, let's do an Easter egg. We just said Easter egg,
but okay.
Okay, just kidding.
No.
We'll do something else.
A sponge.
A sponge.
Comment a sponge.
Because we're cleaning up the episode with this little nugget.
Yeah.
Anyways, move on.
We're done. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode, which will be coming soon.
Like, rebate.
Like, rebate. Like, rebate. Like, rebate.
I'm not even gonna finish. That's it.
Like, review, rate, subscribe, share to all your friends and family. Okay, we're done. Love you guys. Bye.